Hello everyone, welcome to US Report's YouTube channel. The countries of the Transatlantic Alliance, NATO, have responded to Russia's invasion of Ukraine with unprecedented sanctions and substantial military aid for Ukraine. These weaponry shipments have strengthened Ukraine's defensive capabilities, but this effect will be short-lived if the supply of arms is reduced. This includes man-portable air defense devices, in particular, Manpads. Numerous nations have supplied Ukraine's armed forces with a large number of them, making them indispensable to the country's airspace defense. According to the news reports, Ukraine has received a shipment from Germany that includes 1,500 units of the Soviet handheld surface-to-air missile system 9 Kelvin's 32 STRELA-2, as well as 100 MG3 machine guns. Army Recognition reported on 3 March 2022 that Germany has approved the delivery of 2,700 SA-7 Grail 9 Kelvin's 32 STRELA-2 portable air defense missile systems, Manpads, from the former East German armed forces to Ukraine. It is reported that more than 1,000 of them are now being used by Ukrainians on the front line. According to military sources, the Strela Manpads, man-portable air defense systems, delivered to Ukraine may be the model Strela 2M9K32, which has the NATO code name SA-7B Grail B and originated with the former East German military. The SA-7B Grail, or 9K32M Strela 2M in Russian, is the second generation of portable air defense missile systems produced by the Russian defense industry as part of the SA-7 family. The development of this relatively straightforward air defense missile, STRELA-2, NATO code SA-7A, began in 1959, and the basic version entered service in 1966. Since 1971, SA-7B has been in service with an upgraded infrared homing system, a more effective warhead and engine, and a new detection device. The SA-7B's increased thrust propellant increases its range from 3.4 to 4.2 kilometers and its altitude from 1.5 to 2.3 kilometers. The system employs an improved guidance and control logic that enables the engagement of propeller-driven and helicopter aircraft flying at speeds of up to 150 meters per second. The MG3 is a general-purpose German machine gun chambered for 7.6251 mm NATO ammunition. In the late 1950s, the machine gun was standardized and adopted by the newly formed Bundeswehr, where it continues to serve as a squad support weapon and a vehicle-mounted machine gun. The MG3 is an automatic, air-cooled, belt-fed, short-recoil-operated weapon with a maximum firing range of 600 meters when mounted on a tripod and 1,200 meters when mounted on a tripod or a combat vehicle. Manpads are surface-to-air missile systems designed to be carried and fired by a single individual. They were developed in the late 1960s. They were one of the most widely distributed weapons during the Cold War. They were one of the principal means by which the Soviet Union and the United States provided military support to its allies and proxies. The most notable instance of this was the United States' provision of Stinger missiles to the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, which significantly hampered Soviet control of the country's airspace. Recently, the countries of the Transatlantic Alliance, notably the United States, have been unwilling to provide Manpads to allies engaged in various conflicts. This is a result of the widespread of these systems, which in certain instances led to their acquisition by non-state armed groups. Specifically, the Mujahideen's Manpads were inherited by the Taliban. The same weapons were employed against the United States during the Afghanistan conflict. The arrival of newer Manpads, such as the US-developed FIM-92 Stinger, has increased Ukraine's already successful utilization of its older systems, such as the Soviet-designed 9K38 Igla. The efficiency of Ukraine's earlier systems has been surprised to some degree. These Manpads are still effective, but lack the same tracing mechanism as more recent models, making them less precise. The United Kingdom has lately agreed to provide Ukraine with its ultra-modern and very effective Starstreak. The United States and NATO have not disclosed how many Manpads have been transferred to Ukraine since the start of the invasion, which is now in its fourth month. With the conflict moving toward greater urban warfare, These systems will continue to rise in importance for Ukraine. Although the United States and other countries are no longer giving details of the number of Manpads included in their defense aid to Ukraine, it was estimated to have been at least 5,000 within weeks of the invasion. Their continuous transfer demonstrates that the transatlantic allies continue to support the defense of the country's airspace, even if they have rejected its demands for the creation of a no-fly zone. Manpads have been shown to be effective in downing Russian aircraft. However, although the Russian Air Force has suffered high losses as a result of Ukraine's strong air defense, it is still able to strike not only strategic targets in the country but also civilian ones, with a rising death toll as a result. This is why the Ukrainian government has included more Manpads in its list of military needs. More anti-aircraft and anti-tank missiles have been added to Ukraine's broad request for extra military help from the United States in the past few days, according to a document obtained to CNN. Ukrainians have been sending requests to U.S. congressmen for Stinger anti-aircraft and Javelin anti-tank missiles, but a latest request appears to indicate an increasing demand for the weapons. Ukraine says it urgently needs 500 of each, on a daily basis. According to the news reports, Ukraine is requesting hundreds more missiles than were included in a comparable list recently supplied to U.S. senators. While the Russian assault on Ukraine continues, the government has stated it faces a weapons shortfall, causing some criticism from U.S. and NATO officials who stress that more military help is already arriving to the country. The new list confirms that claim. Additionally, with the conflict moving toward greater urban warfare, these systems will continue to rise in importance for Ukraine as their portable and compact nature, as well as their shoulder firing capacity, becomes more relevant. This is why the transfer of Manpads to Ukraine, particularly that of newer generations, must continue. They can protect the Ukrainian skies more fully to prevent further atrocities.